Hey guys, this is Jody from the Fellowship of Gamers. Just got my Roxio Game Capture in. As you can see here, it says capture, edit, and share from the Xbox and PS3 gameplay. Just got it in just to open it up, and I'm looking at it. Comes with some audio cables, as you can see here. Comes with some component cables here. And then this cable goes from the device itself, and then it has a USB end, so you can hook it to your computer. This is the device itself right here. As you can tell, it's pretty small, not going to take up a lot of space. It doesn't require power, which is nice. So it's just an intermediate, probably maybe powers from the PC, or it's just an intermediate that doesn't really need any kind of power. Some of them I've got another one that actually requires some power. There are some flaws that I see to this device already though. And mainly, as you can see here, here's where you put your component in. And here's where it goes out. I don't know if that's very clear. No, excuse me. This is audio in and component in. And then audio out and component out. And then there's where you actually would hook up to your PC. However, this is a couple of problems I have with it. Now, this device is fairly inexpensive. It retails for $100, $99. You can find it all over the place. Well, you can find it in a couple different places for $70, $80. Including Amazon, which I think is a little over $80. Here's my problem with it. If you are selling if you're selling a game capture device, well then you're probably selling this to hardcore gamers. Those are the type of people that are going to be recording their gaming sessions for one reason or another. In my case, to make reviews and also show how often I pawn Dez that he just seems to forget. But there's only one input. It seems like you would have two, that it would be able to allow you to hook up your 360 and a PS3 at the same time. I don't think that would have cost them very much more money to do that. Would have been nice to see them have that in there. Also, and this would have probably cost them a fair amount more and they wouldn't be able to sell it this way. Would have loved to have an HDMI in though. One of the problems I'm going to have is one, having to swap back and forth, which I was trying not to have to do. So when I go to record, I'm going to have to deliberately set everything up, which you're going to have to do anyway because this cable isn't really long enough to reach anything, and you're going to have to put your computer by your computer or by your TV to do this. But it would have been nice to be able to at least have two component cables so that I could, or two jacks for them, so that I can install both of them at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and hook this bad boy up. As you can tell, there's really nothing to it. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Also came with a CD. If you look at the instructions to me are kind of funny because they clearly show an Xbox up here and they show the outline. And here's the directions for PS3, and it has it frame by frame by frame showing everything that you can do. And then here's the little Xbox right there, just a little blurb, not much. But I'm going to hook this up and record some stuff with it and show you how that looks.
Saved me. Lucy. When things were at their worst, she revealed herself to be an assassin and helped me escape. I was hoping that would be the end of my misadventures, but we were just getting started. Back into another animus I went. Now, I'm reliving the memories of Ezio Auditore da Firenze, my ancestor from the Renaissance, searching for a path forward. Through the bleeding effect, I'm becoming an assassin in more than just name. It will come in handy as the Templars prepare to enslave us all. They found us. They've crashed our hideout and we're fleeing the scene looking for a place to hide. Only there isn't any and time is running short.
Neckbreaker! Nails the stunner! He's laid out flat. Yeah, he's making good use of his insane power right here. Somebody stop the match! My bet is we're going to hear the bell ringing any moment now. Jim, I can't agree with you more on that. And the disturbing spinning neckbreaker. Bringing the knee into action here.
Saw some of the footage of what it looks like when you're recording the game. Now this is how you actually put it together. This is the software that comes with it. You can see up here, Roxio Video Wave. And you can see I already have a couple things down here already. But let's just say that we are going to go and we're going to pull, let's say this file, we'll pull this down, we'll put it in here. And we recorded a whole bunch of stuff, but we don't want all of that stuff in the movie. So what you do is you click here to trim, and that pulls up a different menu here that you can actually go in here and see a nice Fellowship of Gamers backdrop here for your Xbox. You can get that by going to Fog Nation, but fognation.com. But you can sit here and you can play this, or you can just drag this. And this is some of the, let's say I just want Stone Cold Steve Austin's intro. I can hit a start set, so now it's set where it starts right there.
Weighing 252 pounds from Victoria, Texas, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And that's all I want is his. So set end, and there you see that it started the start and the end. Click OK, and you'll see this big long stream down here in a second. Will actually go away, and it's very short. And then actually, if you go and you click on that and you play that,
weighing 252 pounds from Victoria, Texas, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
There are a lot of other things in here that I have not played around with yet. As you can see here, you can add a photo, you can add background, you can add text, you can add an overlay, which I'm not exactly sure what that'll do. Video effects, transitions, the transition themes. You can add all of this stuff to make, if you want. This software is designed that you can just simply drag and drop if you wanted to, and then produce a video that way. Or if you really want to spend time in it and cut out the highlights of what you want and put transitions in there, you can have the text at the bottom, which will say like fellowshipofgamers.com or whatever you wanted to say at the bottom. Or you could have it where it just stops, it pauses it for a second, and then put, say you're playing a game and there's a buddy of yours that you really embarrassed. You know, you really got him good. And you want to pause it like right before you get him and put a little name above you and a little name above him so that everybody knows who is who. And then you can start it from, you can start it from there. So that way that you've stopped it, you put the text in there to identify the people and then start it and then let them see what happens. There's a whole lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. I'll show you some of the other stuff like adding a theme. Now you can add a digital transition, or you can just add a theme. Say I want everything to be Sandstorm. Click OK. It'll ask you to make sure that you want to replace it. Yes. And everywhere. Let me see if I can get this thing to go. Here we go. I don't want to have to watch all of that. But I'm going to hook it up and record some stuff with it and show you how.
Lucy, stay with me. Lucy, when things
So there you see, the transition that was in there. Very easy to do. You can go by every one and choose a different transition if you want to, or a lot of times you want the same transition because you want the same feel for all of it. So then you just go click, transition, apply transition theme like I just did, and then between every one of them there'll be the same transition. Okay, so now I've got my video pretty much put together. I obviously have to do the part that I'm recording now, which I can't do obviously until after I finish recording it. But I pretty much have it put together. So the next thing I want to do, and the last thing I really want to do, is I want to put like a watermark on this video. So when people watch it, they know that this came from Fog Nation or Fellowship of Gamers. So here's what I did. I made up a little picture here, and I want to open it and insert it. Now it says I can insert it as a picture before the panel, after before the panel, before the current panel, after the current panel. What I want to do is I want to do it as an overlay because I want it to go on top of what the video. So as you can see here, it comes in. It's ridiculously large. It's a very easy. Shrink it down. Put it in this corner. Shrink it down a little bit more. Now here's the problem. You scoot down a little bit. Well, actually, This time it didn't. This time, I guess because I had done this before when I was playing around with it, it knew. But usually what happens is it'll insert it, and this won't go all the way to the end. Basically what you do is you just click on this, and you can drag it all the way to the beginning, and then if you click on the end, you can see I can stretch it out or make it shorter, whatever I need to do. That's pretty much it. I mean, there are a lot more options in here. You can do a narrative if you wanted to, which I'm not doing. Well, I am doing, but I'm doing it with a different program. You can add text up here, which you could have done the same thing as you did here, just adding the text. I just wanted a logo that I made, so I put that in there. You can share it directly to YouTube, or you can just save it, and you can export it. There's a lot of different features in here. I'm sure I have just barely stuck my pinky toe into the pool of different things that you can do with this. But that's a pretty decent overlay. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this software, making it very powerful, very nice. I mean, this software alone is probably about $50 or $60 if you were to buy it by itself. You could find it cheaper somewhere else, but I mean, this is good software. And then you get the device and the software. The only problem I see with this device is, like I said earlier, the only one component in. Would have been nice if they put two components in. And you have to kind of look at your setup. Are you going to be able to get a computer near your TV to record it? Which nowadays, most of us have laptops. All of this was done on a laptop that was about 5 or 6 years old. So it is not a powerhouse. It doesn't take a whole lot of power to run this type of stuff. When you do go to save your video, you want to make sure that you're not running anything else, especially if you're running an older computer, because it is a little bit of a resource hog. But that is pretty much the case with any kind of video that you do. But other than those two little issues, this is definitely something that if there's some reason that you want to record your video, your gameplay, if it's to do video reviews, if it's to do walkthroughs to put up on YouTube, or if you just want to, just record how awesome that you're playing, this is a great way to do it. And for, like I said, like $70, $80 where you can find it, if you Google it, you can find it on that. Definitely worth picking up. I would highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to using it for a lot of other projects in the future.